For the spiritual person, he sees life, all these conflicts and all these interactions that exist between people to people, as an opportunity to return into commune with the One Most High. Yeah. So when I see another person, what I would do is, as I said in my previous video, I would actually unite with the other party in frequency. Yeah, not in just mere words, but in frequency. Even as I talk to that person, I will actually hear his voice very carefully. That's right. I will hear what is within that person, not just what I see that person face to face. I will actually make sure that the frequency that he's having aligns with my frequency within. He doesn't know that I'm doing that at all. He doesn't know. But it only benefits the person who is doing it. And as I align with him, I return to breath. I bring that message, which is in this world, back to the one reality. In this way, I commune with myself. That's right, I commune with the I am. And in this way also, I bring about my will into this universe. I manifest my will in the things that I do. It's very hard to explain all these things, right? So you got to follow my videos, unfortunately. But the fact is that it's all very secret. It's all very spiritual. And the common person cannot see beyond the commonality. I saw this video at YouTube, and I thought it's worthwhile for me to record it and give a comment about it. Very, very enlightening, actually, because Jim Carrey was illustrating a spiritual meaning to our vertebrae. Let's see it now.
There's 33 vertebrae in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus Christ. Substance that comes from your medulla, which looks like the Ark of the Covenant, has angel's wings around it, the whole thing. Trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is Christ coming down into human form. Yeah. And if you don't squander that essence, that sexual essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven, which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus. So it goes down the chimney and back up the chimney.
Of course, he understood it as Jesus Christ. But I saw it another way, and I thought that I could add my own meaning to this. You see, right there, our body itself contains the answer to reality itself. If you study our body, it has all the truths that we can learn from in our mind, physically, to understand a world that is beyond us. We have a medulla up there, okay? And as he said, the medulla has got, it looks like the Ark of Covenant. And I think indeed it is. Yes, you have some kind of angels at the side. So, right from there, from the voice of God, from the Ark of Covenant, is the message that is given to all of us. We hear it from our soul, but we don't exactly hear it intellectually in our mind. And as a result, although it comes down to us to bring a message to us, we don't quite really understand how to interpret them. But it is an important message. But when it goes down, it goes right down to our sacrum. This is a place where there is a yin and a yang, right? This is a place where there are two opposites. The normal person would just simply use the two opposites to gain pleasure for himself. But the spiritual person will not do that. Instead, together with these two opposites, yes, he will turn them into a more spiritual breath, which extends up, back to the one reality of which the message came from. And I would do that. But for most of us, of course, we would find pleasure in the sacrum. You see, the whole universe that you are seeing right now, okay, is a body. And the message which is coming into that whole universe is via the medulla. It is via the Ark of Covenant. It comes through the two cherubims, the two angels which are opposite each other. We don't really understand the secret one placed, from which all things emerge. But what we see is the world that we live in. And so we see in this world two opposites. We see people talking to each other. We see some conflicts as well. But so for most of us, what we do is that we simply fight our way in that conflict. We want to win. We want to gain pleasure from that conflict. For some of us, we don't fight our way. But whatever it is, we enjoy each other in a festive mood. We celebrate and enjoy the pleasure and the games as a result of interactions of two-person or interactions of people to people. In whatever way, most of us would understand the world with a certain amount of self-interest in it to gain pleasure or to gain a winning edge over the other party. But the spiritual guy doesn't do that. For the spiritual person, he sees life, all these conflicts and all these interactions that exist between people to people, as an opportunity to return into commune with the One Most High. Yeah. So when I see another person, what I would do is, as I said in my previous video, I would actually unite with the other party in frequency. Yeah, not in just mere words, but in frequency. Even as I talk to that person, I will actually hear his voice very carefully. That's right. I will hear what is within that person, not just what I see that person face to face. I will actually make sure that the frequency that he's having aligns with my frequency within. He doesn't know that I'm doing that at all. He doesn't know. But it only benefits the person who is doing it. And as I align with him, I return to breath. I bring that message, which is in this world, back to the one reality. In this way, I commune with myself. That's right, I commune with the I am. And in this way also, I bring about my will into this universe. I manifest my will in the things that I do. It's very hard to explain all these things, right? So you got to follow my videos, unfortunately. But the fact is that it's all very secret. It's all very spiritual. And the common person cannot see beyond the commonality. For most people, when you see a 33 vertebrae, you would explain it by Jesus Christ connection. And when you look at it coming down from the medulla to the sacrum, you see it as God descending to man in the form of a savior. But you're looking at it in a very concrete way. That's fine. You want to see it that way, then you find your fulfillment in that concrete way. You find your fulfillment in the idea that is presented to you. That's right. But for me, I don't find that important to me. Ideas to me are just merely thoughts. And ideas, whatever people tell me, are not something which is very important at all to me. I use them, that's right, I use them to understand. But the understanding comes only when I actually perform the breathwork. That's right. I observe the thoughts that are being manifested. I observe everything that is taking place in this world, and I convert them to breath through the process of union. Through the process where two frequencies are actually becoming one. I call it the resonance, and this is important. The resonance. You see, you find this story in the Torah, didn't you? You see, when Joshua was about to take over the promised land, the first action, what did he do? He was moving around the walls of Jericho. And for a normal person, you just simply, what do you do? Take your weapon and hit at the wall of Jericho or climb up. But God told him to do something very strange, right? God asked him to bring up the voice. Circle the place 7 times, and on the 7th time, bring out the voice. That's right. And the walls of Jericho will fall. It's all a metaphor. Let me tell you, it's about resonance. Something we know. So let's learn from this great truth. It's not about a fight back. It's not about pleasure that we will benefit from. It's about returning back to the one unity. It's about communion with the one reality. And where is the one reality? Not up there, really. At the center of all centers, inside me. I converse with the one reality. But I cannot just converse by talking to the one reality. I cannot do that. That's right. Even when I talk to you, the voice which I'm talking to you cannot really be heard inside. It has to turn into breath. It's not an easy thing, of course. It takes many years of training. So Jesus had 33 years of time to understand the Torah and discover the secret of its I am. Right? So all of us will take our time. So when Jesus finally made it, what did he say? He said, I am is the way. I am is the truth. I am is the life. You don't have to fight back. You don't have to topple the walls of Jericho with any physical weapon. You don't have to do that at all. You don't have to insult the thoughts that are being brought to you. You don't have to push down the other person and say that you are a cleverer person and you know something more than the other guy. You don't have to do all that, really. You don't. You have to raise a voice up to the One Most High. And to raise a voice up to the One Most High, voice is breath. And it's not just you talking. No. It's the breath within us, converted into breath. That's why I convert the events of life back to breath, so that it means that I voice out. That's right, I voice out. The very same way that God created heaven and earth in 6 days, right? He just simply voiced it out. So that's what I did. I voiced it out. I turned everything back to breath. That's what I meant by voice it out. I communed with my soul. And I can assure you, automatically, whatever you want to achieve will come true. It takes time. Why? Because the message must come from the one unity back to the world again, back to the sacred. And mind you, when it returns back to the sacred, most of normal people, what do? They will take pleasure from the sacred. They will not recommune that. That's right. They'll fight back. What people always do, even when God is answering their prayers, they don't realize it at all. They simply fight back. They forget the power that is within all of us. They forget that every man is endowed with a power of beyond. And this power is unseeable. You cannot be proud of it. If you seek to be proud of it, what happens is that your thoughts of pride will influence you and bring you away from the breath. Breathwork does not involve pride at all. Whatever I say to you is true. Discover the secret of life and death. The angel told me this, and I trained myself to achieve that for many, many years. I'd like to share with you, but the problem is, it's not something whereby only words can explain. You have to take action. That's correct. You have to take action. And it's very, very difficult. And why? Because for most part of us, we are tempted to be proud. and you're tempted to judge, and you're tempted to feel that you're smart. You want pleasure from the sacrum. You don't want to wait for the great truth to arrive. So it's really difficult. Not only must you turn the world event to breath, but after turning them to breath, you must also be smart enough when it's received into the sacrum to stay cool. As human beings, when somebody touches you, you're elated, especially when flesh and flesh meets. And what you do? You spill off the sperm. What you did was wrong. You want pleasure, of course, but that isn't the correct attitude. But what I'm saying now is a metaphor, so don't take it literally. You need to control the sacrum because it's too tempting to avoid. That's all I'm saying. Follow my videos, there's more to it coming.